Okay. So good morning to all our participants and also to our speakers. So let me check our Zoom. If everyone can hear me well, kindly type one. Comment down one if you can hear me well. Okay, so I can see some participants. Okay, so let's start. Once again, good morning to all the grade 12 participants of this Computing and Multimedia Arts Immersion webinar. So we have participants, I think, across Davao region and Soxargen. And to all our participants, kindly type down your school name and also your strand so that you will be recognized. And also, please be informed that our webinar for this morning is also live on the official YouTube channel of the university. So kindly visit the University of Mindanao official YouTube channels. So sa mga nandito na, kindly inform your classmates, your friends, your batchmates that they can join us via YouTube. Okay, so at this juncture, let us be in the moment of silence for the invocation and the singing of the Philippine National Anthem to be led by the University of Mindanao Chorale.
kanang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisingil. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simuya, sa langit ng bagha, may dilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng matawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning, ang bituing at araw niyang kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng wala di pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang iligaya ng pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Okay, so once again, good morning, participants and speakers. So before I start, I would like to acknowledge our participants. So kindly type down your strand and school name. And here in YouTube, we have no powerhouse from the Compostela National High School. They have computer programming and computer system, a specialized track for their school. So welcome everyone from Carmen National High School. And I think marami pa yung habol. We have average of 15 viewers in our YouTube channel. And I think first and foremost, we would like to thank the senior high school teachers and also the immersion teachers for allowing their students and also you students for your participation and for your efforts and time in joining us in this kind of webinar. So once again, welcome everyone. So here's the flow of our program for this morning. We have three speakers. Our first speaker will discuss about the pre-employment requirements. So you have to listen carefully because we have our Menti game after our speaker. So it's a game where 5 winners will receive prizes from the University of Mindanao. And apart from that, this is the discussion about the careers and studies in the field of ICT. So we have two speakers from the College of Computing Education, Professor Arroyo and Professor Barbosa. So without further ado, let's start with our first speaker. He is the Vice President of the External Relations and International Affairs Office. To discuss to you the pre-employment requirements, please help me welcome Dr. Reynaldo C. Castro.
Thank you, Glenn. Morning to our senior high school students. Welcome to the University of Mindanao and welcome to our program today, webinar immersion program. We understand that for grade 12, you are supposed to be exposed to different industries for your immersion program. But given the situation or the challenging situation we have right now, that is not possible. That's why we initiate this activity, we want to at least fill in the gap and through the digital means, and I hope that we can at least help you in this way. Today, I think this is the ninth session that we have, and for our students attending our session today, if you want to watch our previous session, you can watch them on our official YouTube channel, and if you are also interested to listen to various academic programs of the university, you can also watch that on our official YouTube channel. My topic, there are three topics that I'm going to share to you, senior high school students. Now, first one is I'm going to discuss how are you going to prepare a winning cover letter and resume. These two important documents are necessary in your initial application when you apply for jobs, when you write for other universities, when you apply for a university for your college education, you need to write a letter, an application letter. And when you apply for a job, you also need to write a letter and a resume. And the application letter and the resume will determine whether you will proceed to the next stage of your application process, which is the interview. And if you have not written, if your letter, application letter, and your resume are not impressive, it does not impress the employer or the hiring officer or the one reading your resume, then you will not be given a schedule for interview. So that's the first topic. And second topic is I'm going to discuss how are you going to ace in the job interview. So for the first topic, let's watch this video. I have prepared a video for you, so let's watch this. Hi to all our students in CAID 500 and welcome to our second video. Today we are going to talk about two important things in your CAID 500 and in your application process. Writing a cover letter, or popularly known as application letter and resume. First, why write a cover letter? I'd like to cite three reasons. First is that because you have earned a formal education, a formal baccalaureate degree, you need to show to your potential employer that you can write and that you can communicate well. That's why you have to write an application letter or a cover letter. Second is that you have to highlight your particular skills, your past work history, or other areas that are specific to the job that you are applying. You have to think of it as a quick sales pitch. And third reason is that you have to set yourself apart from the competition. Remember this, in one position, there's a dozen or two of you applying for that position. And therefore, the first level of assessment of your potential employer is your application letter. So, how are you going to write a winning cover letter? These are our tips. First, you have to write there the date. Don't forget the date. And when you are going to write your application letter, you are going to follow the American English style. So you start with the date, for example, September 10, 2020, not 10 September 2020. The next one is that you have to write the name of the addressee. Maybe the HR manager or the president of the organization. If you don't have any idea of the name of the HR manager or to whom you're going to address the letter, then you have to exert extra effort. You can visit the company, you can give them a call, and ask from them to whom you can address your application letter. If you're going to visit the company, then tell the HR office. Normally, you have to proceed to the HR office and ask the people there in the HR that you're interested to submit an application letter, and you're going to inquire from them to whom you're going to address the letter. So get the complete name, the exact position of the person, and of course the name of the company and the address. So that's how you're going to do it. For example, you have Miss Joanne T. Santos, HR manager. Oops, you also have to make sure that Joanne Santos is the HR manager because she might be the VP for HR. And by writing there, HR manager, you have demoted the person. So it's already a demerit in your part. So you have to make sure what's the exact position of the person. So let's go back to that. Miss Joanne T. Santos, HR manager, XYZ Corporation, Ponciano Street, Davao City. That's it. And then you have the opening. You say, Miss Santos, colon. Do not write Dear Miss Santos because remember that your application letter is a formal style of communication, and writing the word Dear Miss Santos reduces the formality of your communication unless you are very close to that person. So you write there Miss Santos colon. In your first paragraph, you have to mention how did you get to know about the information of the position, whether you get the information from a friend or somebody who's working in the organization, or maybe you have read that somewhere in the local paper, then you can cite that in your first paragraph and your interest of applying for the position. So for example, you would say, I've read in the local paper, Mindanao Times, dated September 4, 2020, that your company is in need of accounting staff. I wish to apply for the position. Alright? So you have there the information and your interest. Why is it's important that you cite the information? Because it's also significant to the company whether the promotion that they have had is working for them. Uh, and it's giving them an output. It's giving them effective promotion of their job opening. The second paragraph of your application letter, you can write there your experience. Two things, no? One is your work experience related to the position that you are applying. And second, what are the attributes, work attributes that you possess which you think are significant in the performance of the function. And in the third paragraph of your application letter, you can write there, you can open doors for further meet and greet of the HR or of the interviewer, because you cannot tell everything in your resume and in your application letter. So you can say there that I wish to share more of my qualifications at your most convenient time. I can be reached at your contact number or your email address. And then you can close the letter by saying sincerely or respectfully yours. I suggest do not write very truly yours, because Tagalog mo yung very truly yours, ako iyong buong buo, no? It's not very formal. Again, I'd like to remind you that your application letter is a formal style of communication. So after closing, don't forget your name and then your signature. Voila! You have your winning cover letter. Let's proceed to the next video. Last video, last discussion, we talk about how are you going to write a winning cover letter. And today, partner with your cover letter is the resume. We're going to talk about how are you going to write a winning resume. The resume is your personal brochure to market yourself. It should give your potential employer a quick view of what you can do for them. So for new graduates just like you can list your accomplishments in school. Do not worry about not having any accomplishments or work-related accomplishments. You can pick out those school accomplishments that show responsibility, reliability, cooperative spirit, and the like. That's why you have to make the most of your experience while you are still in the university. You can cite those experiences that you have with extra and co-curricular activities, your membership to various academic or non-academic student organizations. So what are the suggested format or tips in writing your resume? This is how are you going to do it. You start, of course, with the most important thing, followed by with the less important, and so on and so forth. So what you can start is you write your name, your full name, your address. You have to be specific in your address. You have to write there the street, house number, purok, and barangay. Why you have to be specific in your address? Because these potential companies of yours, they're going to make a background investigation, and one way of doing that is to visit your barangay or your residence. They're going to talk to your purok leader or to your barangay leaders, no? What are your participations, or are you really residents of that area? Then after you address, another important information that you have to provide there in your resume are your contact number and your email address. These two are important, especially in giving you feedback on the status of your application. And your companies, potential companies, they don't believe that you don't have any email address or contact number, because we are in a generation of technology. So you really have to make sure that you have a functional email address and your contact number is really yours. The next one is you have to write a summary statement. A summary statement is a gist of who you are in terms of your potential to the company, in terms of what you can contribute to the company, in terms of your competence, whether you can perform to the function or not. So, two things. When you're going to write your summary statement, let's go back to the second paragraph of your application letter. I said that when you write your second paragraph in your application letter, there are two things that you are going to highlight there. One is your work-related experience, and the other one is the attributes. No? What are the attributes that you possess that are related to the performance of the function or the requirements of the position? So that's the summary statement. Later on, I'm going to show a sample summary statement. How are you going to write it? The next one is your work or school related experience or OJT experience. Now, if you're a working student, then you can write there, but you have to make it sure that your work experience during the time that you're still in the university are related to the position or to the requirements of the company, or your OJT experience, of course, for sure, are related to the requirements also of the potential company that you're applying to. So you have to And the other one is your accomplishments or your recognitions or your achievements when you were in here in the university. If you have, for example, participation in a community extension, because it speaks about volunteerism, it speaks about you being a team player, no? And your exposure to other staff, that during the time that you're in the university, you're not just a plain student, but you also engage yourself to other or various or related activities that can at least bolster your experience, your qualification, and your competence. The last one is, of course, your education. So you see there's nothing there in your resume. You do not put anything that are not relevant to the position that you're applying to. No, there's nothing there that asks you about height, weight, and religion. That's why when you write your resume, you have to tailor fit the content of your resume based on, number one, on your competence, on your qualifications, on the things that you possess that you can offer to the company. And second, tailor fit the content of your resume based on the requirements of the company. That's why I suggest do not buy the ready-made biodata form that you can buy in the bookstore, nor in store, because there are information that you may not be included, no, in your resume, and which are actually relevant to the position that you are applying to. So that's how you're going to write your resume. Remember this, in a gist, when you write your resume, 7 things that you have to remember, or you have to make it sure that these 7 things are there in your resume. Number 1, what can you do for me? When you write your resume, when you prepare your resume, you have to make it sure that this question is being answered in the content and substance of your resume. Second, do you have the skills I'm looking for? Third, where have you worked before? It's also important that you have to cite your work experience, the company that you had, your internship, your OJT, because aside from it was an opportunity for you to apply the learnings that you have learned from the university, for sure your work or internship experience have developed you some have improved your soft skills, some of your soft skills, like for example work attitude skills, the ability for you to follow deadlines and instructions from the company, like wearing proper uniform, wearing an ID, coming to work on time, following the rules and regulations of the company. Those are very important stuff, although sometimes we said that those are simple stuff, but those are very relevant stuff. Number 4, is your experience relevant to my needs? Number 5, do you have the right education and credentials? So you see, question number 4 and question number 5 are related to each other, which means that whether you have this experience or education and you're applying to a position that's quite different from the training and the experience that you have, you know, give that to those people who have the relevant experience and training. Question number 6, what kind of person you are. So it's important that you also have to highlight your soft skills, your personal attributes. And last but not the least, where can I contact you? I overly emphasize the relevance of your email address and your contact number because, as I said, that whenever there's a need for you to report immediately or submit additional documents or papers relevant to your application, this is the fastest way of the company telling you about those stuff. So I hope that with that information, you can start writing your resume. So there you have it, to our senior high school students. There are important points that I'd like to emphasize when you write your resume. Just remember that the content of your resume should tailored fit to what the position is requiring from you, no, from an applicant, what the company wants to hear, wants to read from the applicant. So you have to, for example, if you're a graduate of a computer science or an IT, you would expect that an applicant would be very competent and very proficient when it comes to language in computer, how to use the computer, and the like. No, so that's the expectation. That's the impression. Therefore, you need to possess those and you need to write those in your resume. And just remember that the purpose of the resume is for you to proceed to the next stage of the application process, which is the interview. The company will not hire you automatically, no, outright based on what you have written in your resume, but you will proceed to the next stage of your application, which is the interview, because of an impressive resume. So the next topic that I'm going to discuss to you is about how are you going to breeze through, no? How are you going to be confident in your job interview? Because we understand that the interview, when you face the interviewer, it's going to be one of the most dreaded experience that you are going to have. All right. So let me share my screen. All right. Uh-huh. So again, remember that the purpose of your resume is for you to get an interview, and the purpose of the interview is for you to get the job. Even if among the applicants you are the most qualified, you are the best applicant, but your interview, does not do well, you will not still get the job. So the interview is the deciding factor. It's just like, you're watching beauty contest, no, Miss World, Miss Universe. And if you have noticed that the candidates have been through so many competitions, stages of screening and competitions like evening gown, talent competitions, and national costumes, no? And swimsuit competition. And you see, in the final round, in the top 5 or in the top 3, the final and deciding factor is the interview. So judges will select who among the finalists deserve to win the crown based on the performance of the candidates in the interview. So same in the job application process. That's how important you prepare yourself for job interview. And how are you going to prepare for that? It says here that preparation is half the battle. You can prepare that. Now you can anticipate the questions. You can, look good. Your verbal and your non-verbal communication, your personality development, the attire that you are going to wear during job interview makes a first and lasting impression. Why is it that job interview is the deciding factor? Because your verbal and your non-verbal communication, the way you carry yourself, the way you respond to questions in terms of content, in terms of your movement and the like, will give an idea and will give an impression to the employer, to the interviewer, how are you going to perform the job. And that's why the key word there, the most important thing there is that you should be confident. You should be not nervous during job interview. Because if you are not confident and if you are nervous during job interview, it will give an impression that you are not capable, that you are missing something. You think you know that there are things that you may not perform, especially when you're being asked a certain question that's testing your competence, and that you are not spontaneous in responding to that question. It will give an impression that may kulang dito, no, hindi siguro niya alam, nag-iisip siya, matagal siya nakasagot. And third, the more you know about the purpose of the interview and the organization, the better you respond to the questions. You want to be part of the organization. If you proceed to a college, no, in other university, you are required to undergo an interview process. Well, it's nice thing here in UM because you will not pass through that, no. But in other university, you are going to pass through that, no. At least you have an experience. Because why is that so? Because you want to be part of that organization for a certain period of time. And if I am the interviewer, if I am already there in the organization, and if I'm doing a screening on you as an applicant, I want to find out whether you had a prior knowledge, if you did an advanced research regarding our organization. And if you did that, I will think that you are really interested of going into and being part into our organization. Pareho lang gud siya senior high school students kung halimbawa na kay nagustuhan, no, mga lalaki na may nagustuhan ng mga girl, or ang mga girl bago nila saguton tong mga lalaki na nang nguyab sa ilaha, di ba? You need to know first the likes, the personality of that person, whether those personalities and those attributes of that person match with yours. All right? Di man po pwedeng opposite attracts. There is no such thing as that. You know what I mean? Okay. So during job interview, what are the potential questions, the possible questions that will be asked by the interviewer? First and most important is your ability to perform the job. No, if there's a need for you to operate an equipment, and in fact, in your case, most of you participants today are interested of pursuing a course that's related to computer, like computer science, computer technology, information technology, no, anything, any course, any career that's related to computer, you are interested in that, and therefore it's assumed that kung ako it's assumed if I'm an HR, I will assume that you must be good in computer. If I have problem with my computer, with my laptop, and with my gadget, then maybe you can do something about it. All right. If I want you to make a system, therefore, you know the language, the steps in making a system, in making our lives in our organization, easier and more efficient. All right. So first question is about your competence, your ability to perform the job. The second question is all about your fitness, your culture, and your personality. No, I'm referring to your attitude, to your attributes, no, to your style. And third one is your motivation and your enthusiasm. Are you that kind of person who is driven by your career goal and career ambition? Do you have really a career goal? So that's why you will be asked questions like, how do you see yourself in 15 to 20 years? No, because the interviewer wants to know whether you have really goal, you have strategy, that you want to achieve your career, your dream career, your aspiration as far as career is concerned. Okay. And fourth, your past accomplishments, no? Your experience when you were in school, in senior high school and in college, how you were able to spend all those years when you were still in the university. Um, do you participate, were you active, were you participated in the various community extension program or in a civic or in a extra or curricular activities? Why is that so? Because if you have this experience when you were in school, it will give the interviewer an idea that you have exposure. You are that kind of person who can network with other people, who can mingle with other people, and you have a team player ability, all right, that you have implemented a specific task and that you are responsible for that task. Kasi di ba, mag-join ka organization, naaman mo yung mga project, naaman mo yung mga activity. So therefore, sometimes you have to meet with your classmates, you have to meet with your friends and discuss with them how are you going to go about it, no? So that's an example. So kung may experience ka na ganun, that's okay. Alam niyo mga estudyante ng senior high school, importante that when you apply for jobs in the future, and come to think of this, that in one position there's going to be a dozen or two, no more than 15 or 16 of you applying for the position. The question there is that if you want the job, no, badly, so badly, what makes you different from the rest, and your experience, past experience in school, whatever experience that you have that may relate to the requirements of the position, will help you a lot and will put you at an advantage position, will make you ahead over the other. Okay, knowledge of the company. So I've been telling you about knowledge of the company because that's very important. You know, why you go to a company, why apply in a work or in a company that you have no prior knowledge. I mean, it's going to be a mortal sin. No? So when you are planning to apply for that company, for that position, you really have to read about that company. So it's just like, you know, you are grade 12 and for sure all of you wants to pursue college, right? Before embarking, before enrolling into a course, before enrolling into a school, then you have to know about the school, about the course that you are planning to take. All right. And last here in the list is communication skills. So when you say communication skills, it does not only mean the ability to speak in English language, but you know, it's about expressing yourselves. It's about when you receive an idea, an information, how do you process that and share that to other people, all right? Or how do you take action out from the idea or from the information that you have received? That's what you mean by communication skills. So generally, during job interview, di ba sabi ko that preparation is half the battle because you can really prepare, you can anticipate what are the questions to be asked, no? So generally, these are the questions, no? Why is it that there are questions to be raised by the interviewer? Because number one, they want to know if you can do the job. Can you do the job? And questions like that, you respond, you answer related to your skills, your talents, your competencies, and your abilities, no? Kaya kung sa computer ka, anong mga language ng computer, anong mga system, anong mga software, anong mga alam-alam mo doon sa mga computer? I mean, I'm sorry because I'm not into computer, no? And our next speakers are our experts in the University of Mindanao when it comes to computer and IT related course, no? So that's why you have to listen to them if you are interested to pursue that career, no? All right. So that's it, no? Number one question is all about your ability. Can you do the job? The other one is that, yeah, you are competent, marunong ka, may mga language ka sa computer, alam mo yon, no? The next question is that, will you do the job? So that question refers to your interest, your motivation, and your right values to work, no? For example, ang question niyan is that, you know, if you will be hired in our company, are you willing to be relocated? Because sometimes, no, you know, you will be traveling. We have clients in other places, and therefore you need to travel. So, are you like willing to be relocated, or are you like willing to travel, or are you willing to work overtime? Because sometimes we are given deadlines, so we have to work overtime. We have to burn the midnight oil, things like that. You know. Third is that will you fit in the company and its culture? So it's about um, once we're going to hire you, are you like can you embrace our practice here, our culture in our organization? Okay, these are some of the questions that common questions. So when you say common questions, most likely this will be asked during job interview, and it's nice if you can like prepare, no? I mean, wag mo i-memorize, but at least handa ka na kung anong pwede mong isagot. Number one is, tell me something about yourself. And it's going to be the first question to be asked during job interview, no, from an applicant. Introduce yourself, let us know who you are, or tell me something about yourself, no? So that's why what you can do is that do not be so personal or long-winded, no? Why is it that this question is being asked? Because the interviewer wants to know what is your best characteristic, what is your best attributes that you possess that is fitting to the position, no? You can cite, how are you going to do that? You can cite your experience if you have a good experience, if you were part of a project in school that is relating to your career, to your position, to the position that you're applying, or if you have that characteristic which you think are very important in the performance of the job, no? So you focus on those because your name, your age, and your school are already there in the resume. I have read that. But what I want to hear from you is that how do you sell yourself? How are you going to sell yourself? How are you going to convince me as the hiring officer that you are the perfect candidate for the job? Okay? What do you know about our company? Again, I've been telling you that you have to prepare, you have to read what are the products and services of the company, what are the vision and mission of the company that, sometimes those vision and mission statement are alike, no? Are connected. I mean, they have similarities to your philosophy statement in life, di ba? I mean, senior high school student, I might be talking about things that so mature to fathom with, but if I'm in your stage, I would rather like start reading what are the vision and mission of the company. And since I want to pursue college, I might start making my own philosophy statement, and I'm going to live with that as I proceed, no, in my college journey. Because when I graduate, and if I will be asked questions like that, it would be easy for me to relate and respond to that kind of question. Okay, so you look at the vision mission and find out if you can connect those vision mission of the company. Third is that what is your greatest weakness? The interviewer is asking this question not because he or she is interested of knowing what is your weakness, really, no. But why is it that the interviewer raised this? Because number one, the interviewer wants to know whether you are that kind of person who acknowledge that no one is perfect, and that you are not perfect, and that you have mistake, and that you have something to improve to yourself. Okay? So, ang bakit siya tinatanong? Because gusto ko makita yung ability mo na marunong ka pala mag-acknowledge ng weakness mo. Okay? And that it's not enough that you share your weakness, but what is more important there is that you identified your weakness, and that how you overcome that weakness, no? Ako halimbawa, ang bigyan ko kayo ng sample, no, senior high school student. Ang aking weakness is that madali ako mainis, no? I'm easily irritated if I am stuck in a traffic, if I drive from home, from my house, going to my office in the morning. And if I'm stuck in a traffic, it can ruin my entire day. What does it mean? It means that kung na-stuck ako sa traffic, hindi na ako productive, no? Mainis na ako, ganyan ganyan. And that's a weakness, no? That's not a good attitude. So what I'm doing is that para hindi ako ma-stuck sa traffic, biyahe ako ng early, no? I-avoid kasi wala naman talaga ako magawa. Ganyan man talaga ang biyahe, traffic man talaga, 'di ba? So but I can do something about it, you know? So biyahe ako ng maaga, punta ako ng maaga sa office, and that's good, 'di ba? Oh, so na-escape ko yung traffic, and I can finish my day very productive, all right? So importante marunong kayo mag-identify na inyong weakness, at paano ninyo siya ino-overcome, or paano ninyo gina-turn yung weakness na yon into something positive. Do you have any question, no? Ikaw yan ha, interviewer. Ang interviewer nagtanong, may tanong ka ba? Tinanong ka aplikante, no? Kaya ang suggestion ko sa inyo, strong suggestion ko sa inyo, senior high school students, when you're in an interview or in a job interview or in a university interview, I suggest that you really have to ask question because job interview or any interview for that matter is a form of conversation. That's why it's a two-way process conversation. So hindi pwede na isa lang ang tao na magtanong, no? Second is that if you're going to ask question, it will give an impression that you are really interested of the discussion, of the conversation, and of the position. So, anong mga posibleng itanong ninyo, no? You can ask questions like, when can you make a follow-up? If the company will allow you, if you are planning to pursue further studies, like if you want to proceed master's degree, the company is the company allowing their employees to do that, no? Or if you want um, to participate in enhancement program, in a training and seminar, are there opportunities for newly hired employees to be sent to trainings and seminars? Things like that, Okay? Basta ang punto ko lang doon, do not let the interview session end without you asking any question. Okay? What can you contribute most to our organization? So maan akala contribute na di amutan, natagpila pud kaya ang amutan, no, di ba? Kay contribute man. Okay? No, it's not. Why is it that this question is being asked? Again, I'd like to go back to my first question, that tell me something about yourself. The interviewer is really interested of what do you possess? What makes you different from the other applicants? I'm going to interview so many applicants, but what makes you different? What is in you that you should be considered for the position? Okay? So isip ka, anong meron ka? Anong advantage mo? Anong kayang wala sila na meron ka na kailangan sa position? Okay? All right. Um, I'm going to share this to you. There's a survey done to PMAP members. Ang PMAP kasi is an association of HR managers in the country. And for your information, HR managers are the one doing the screening, making interview for all applicants in their respective organization. And they were asked, no, there was a survey, they were asked, what are the common interview mistakes of the applicants, no? And topping the list is answering cell phone or texting. So I'm sharing this to you senior high school students so that you can have these lists. And when you're in an interview, not only job interview, but any interview for that matter, please avoid all this stuff. No, like number one in the list is answering cell phone or texting, dressing inappropriately. That's why you have to do research what appropriate and proper attire you need to wear during that occasion, during that interview. Okay? Appearing disinterested. Naadto ka pa tapos di ay lamyada di ka no, wala di kay kalutay-lutay magtubag, di ba? Wa kay ganang-ganang, wa man lang gani ka kapamahaw or kapaniudto, di ba? No? So dapat full of energy ka and full of enthusiasm. Appearing arrogant. That's why when you will be asked questions like, what is your weakness? Sasabihin mo, ay wala man ako weakness. No, I don't believe that I have a weakness because I'm an achiever and I have achieved a lot, and I don't think that if you are going to achieve a lot, you have a weakness. Hindi pwede ganon, di ba? No? So, kailangan humble ka. Appearing unprepared, chewing gum. We understand that why you chew gum because sometimes it's your way of overcoming your tension, no? The feeling of being tense and the feeling of anxiety. But it's obvious if you're doing that, you are really telling the HR or the interviewer that you are nervous, that you are not confident, diba? And what we want to show to them, what you are supposed to show to them is that you are confident. Okay? So avoid chewing gum, not providing specific answers, no? So my suggestion is that when you answer, you have to cite an example. That's why sabi ko kanina, pag sinasabi, anong weakness mo? Impatient ako. Huwag mo sabihin impatient lang because yung pagiging impatient will not be remembered by them. But you have to cite an example how impatient you are and how you overcome that weakness of yours, no? In terms of your experience, in terms of a situation that you have gone through, di ba? And not asking good questions. So you really have to ask questions. Okay? You also have to practice the art of asking question. Okay. So I have here my last topic, no, my last slide, social media etiquette. And why is it that it's important that you have to filter the things that you have posted in your social media? Because companies, they do background investigation. They will investigate, no, they want to find out if in case you are a potential candidate, you are a potential applicant, no, and you are close to be hired, they want to know whether are you a good person. Wala ka bang kablaban? Hindi ka ba mainitin ng ulo? Marunong ka ba mag-adjust sa sarili mo, no? Hindi ka ba nagsasalita ng mga masasama, no? Di ka ba libakera, libakero, 'di ba? Di ba ka palaaway, something like that, no? 'Di ba? So gusto nila ngayon tingnan, and one way of doing that are your posts in your social media, in your Facebook, in your Instagram, or in your Twitter, no? So kaya careful kayo kasi kung ano ang sinusulat nyo dyan, reflection yan sa inyong personality. So let's take a look at the first list. The first list there is writing negative posts. Big no-no. Do not write negative posts in your social media. Kahit galit ka sa PLDT na connection, sa Globe na connection, galit ka sa driver ng jeep or what, galit ka sa nakita mo sa kaibigan mo or what, do not post that. Simple rule, senior high school students. If you have nothing good to say to other people or nothing good to say to post in your social media, do not post that. No? If you think that that post can hurt other people, don't post anything. No, wag kayong maglagay ng ganon, no? Okay? All right, keep that to yourself. Second, ungrammatical posts or use of derogatory language, no, mga buisit ka, mga lagot ka, mga ganon, 'di ba? Or mga ungrammatical posts because you're supposed to be professional. The fact that you are educated, the fact that you have earned an education, a proper education, therefore, there will be an impression that when you write something, you have reviewed your posts, no? Correct siya ang construction nun at saka marunong ka maghanap ng mga words na hindi siya masakit, no, sa pandinig or hindi siya bastos pakinggan, okay? And third, make your posts all about you, all right? Remember that is a social media, and if all your posts are talking about yourself, your outfit, the food that you have had, everything about you, your TikTok and the like, which means masyado kang makasarili. Ang impression nun is that you want that the spotlight will be always at you. All right? So baka ano ka, attention seeker ka, attention grabber ka if we are going to hire you. No? So what you can do is that you can write about the series that you have watched. If you have watched, for example, bago lang natapos ang Vicencio Casano or favorite Korean novela mo, no? Series, then you can write something about that. What is your review about the movie or the series that you have watched? Or if you have read a book, no? You write something about that book, no? You write a review, all right? Or a social issue. Alam nyo, ganon ang bagay sa inyo, no? Kasi you want to enter into the world of career, no? 'Di ba? Professional. So dapat ang mga discussions niyo ganon na ang level, okay? So I hope senior high school students that you have learned something from my lecture today, and as I said, that if you want to watch our previous videos and our programs and our previous academic programs in the university, then you can watch and follow our Facebook account, our YouTube account, no? Click subscribe, mag-subscribe kayo sa YouTube kasi para kung meron kami mga bagong video, mga information videos, ma-update kayo. All right? So good morning everyone. Thank you very much and be safe always. I hope to see you here in the University of Mindanao. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Ray. Now I think we'll have our first round of quiz. Is everyone ready? So, instructionan ko na, no, yung mga nasa YouTube. However, sa ating mga nasa Zoom, kindly visit menti.com. Okay. So I'll share to you the code number. So go to menti.com and use the code 706599328. Instruction, kindly indicate your school name beside your name, no, sa inyong username for this game. Again, kindly indicate your school name beside your name sa username. Okay, so get chance to win prizes from the University of Mindanao by joining this game. Visit menti.com and use the code 706599328. While waiting for our participants, I would like to acknowledge the participants from Davao City National High School and also Kidapawan City National High School, Crispin E. Rojas National High School, Correso College, Maragusa National High School, okay, meron pa ba tayong ibang schools? Okay, Carmen National High School, Compostela, marami tayong Compostela National High School. So, meron na tayong 4 na participants. I hope yung nasa YouTube no makahabol. Don't forget to include your school name beside your name sa inyong username. Your school name. Okay, down. Okay, we will start in 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Maraming natanggal, no? So there are 8 participants for this round. Maybe you can wait for at least 3 persons. And we will now start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here's the first question. Make sure to answer fast to get more points. How long is the ideal resume? 1 to 2 pages, 4 to 5, or it depends on the job you're applying. Okay, time's up. Correct answer is 1 to 2 pages. So 7 answered correctly. So let's see our leaderboard. Okay, so I think our top one is from the UM Maine, Miralles, followed by Harvey Tagalog of Tarragona National High School, Clint J. Tiger Baby, Christine May Vargas. Okay, let's proceed to our second question. Answer fast to get more points. Here's the question. The objective of the resume is for the applicant to get hired. True or false? Time's up. Correct answer is false. Okay, so dalawa lang yung tumama. Why false? Because the objective of the resume is for you to get interviewed, not to get hired immediately. So there's a process from the submission of the resume and application letter to the interview. So it doesn't mean that you have submitted your resume, you will be hired automatically. So that's why the answer is false. Now let's have our third question, but before that, we have our second question, leaderboard. I think my new top 2 tayo or top 1. And she's the fastest. Christine May Vargas, followed by Miralles of UMA, Harvey Tagalog of Tarragona National High School, Clint J, and Tiger Baby. Here's the question number 3. The best applicant gets the job. True or false? Still, dalawa yung tumama. Why false? Because the best applicant or the best interviewed, no, not applicant, but the best interviewed gets the job, since the deciding factor for of your application is the interview. That's why the answer is false. Let's see kung sino yung tumama. There are only 2 participants. I think that's Cake and Steve Finmar. Okay, Cake was the fastest. Still, yung top 5 natin, no? As is pa rin. Let's see our fourth question. Which of the following should not be in your resume? Contact number, education, or height and religion? Okay, very good. Everyone answered correctly. That's height and religion. So do not include these details in your resume. So leading to our last question, here's the leaderboard. Okay, I think still Christine is our top 1, followed by Miralles, Harvey, Clint, and Nasif. Okay. Our last question, and after this, we will reveal our winners. No, we will select the top 5 for this round. So make sure to answer fast. Will you do the job is a general question on the applicant's skills, motivation, or adaptability. Everyone has voted, and only 3 answered correctly. So since the question is, will you do the job? So this is a question of willingness. That's why the answer is motivation. So let's see our final leaderboard, and we will reveal our top 5 winners for this round. I think only Nasif, McLean, and Task Speed answered correctly. And our new winner, our top 1, is Nasif Basari of, I think this is from, don't know the school name, no, but CGEAHSS, followed by Christine May Vargas, Miralles of UMA, Harvey Tagalog of Tarragona National High School, and Ozzy Morabe. Congratulations, and for those participants, no, sa ating YouTube at sa ating Zoom, you just have to visit mente.com, and then you input the code number so that you can join, you can participate in our game and get a chance to win prizes from the University of Mindanao. So we still have 2 sets of game, so make sure, no, na maka-join kayo later. And make sure also that you listen carefully to our speakers kasi dun manggaling lahat ng questions. Okay? So that's the conclusion of our first talk about the pre-employment requirements. Now let's move on to the next set of our discussion. Our 2 speakers are from the College of Computing Education. They are one of the best faculty members of the college, and They will discuss about the studies and careers in ICT. So our first speaker is the program head of the Bachelor of Science in Information Technology. Please help me welcome Professor Giancarlo T. Arroyo, MIS. Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning, Sir Glenn. Thank you for having me today. Good morning, Sir Ray, and to our participants, a pleasant morning to everyone. So, Sir Glenn, can you hear me clearly po?
Yes po, sir.
All right, thank you, Sir Glenn. So let me just share my screen so we can begin our session. Okay. So once again, everyone, good morning. And my name is Giancarlo Arroyo. Together with me is my colleague.
Charisse Barbosa. Good morning.
So today we are going to share to you about studies and careers in ICT. So here are our topics for today. So we will be learning about study paths for you. So what are your options? The research work in the field of ICT, internship, and of course, your possible careers that you can take after your graduation. So let's start with our first topic, study path. So here are some of the common questions of students who wish to enroll in the field of ICT. So first, I am not a graduate of TVL ICT or a computer related track in senior high school. So can I still proceed to enroll in an ICT related program? Well, the answer is yes. So in fact, although most of our students are graduate of ICT tracks, we also have students who are from STEM and from UMS and other senior high school tracks. So if that is the case, sir, what are my options? So these are for both non-ICT and ICT related graduates. So here are your possible options. So ang pinaka-common na alam natin is the BSIT or the Bachelor of Science in Information Technology. So when you are asked, when we ask students, what course will you take upon finishing ICT? Or when we ask in general for senior high school students, they always say IT because yun lang yung alam nila na program pag-graduate ng ICT or computer related. But in fact, we have more than IT. We also have the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Bachelor of Science in Information Systems, Bachelor in Library and Information Science, Bachelor of Science in Entertainment and Multimedia Computing, majors in Digital Animation Technology or Game Development. And finally, we also have Bachelor in Multimedia Arts. So yung top three lang na common offered in other schools are BSIT, BS Computer Science, and BS Information Systems. But here in the University of Mindanao, we offer 6 programs, adding up the listed 4, 5, and 6 courses that you can choose from when you enroll in UM. So sir, ano ba ang difference nitong mga program? We actually have a lot to choose from. Well, they are all ICT related courses. And I suggest that you choose something that you prefer, so you won't have any difficulty and you'll actually love what you will be learning in college. So let's look into the differences of these programs and I will help you decide kung ano ba talaga yung program na para sa inyo. So let's start with the BSIT. So ano ba tong BSIT program? So BSIT, according to CHED, is the study of the utilization of hardware and software technologies involving the planning, installing, customizing, operating, managing, and administering and maintaining information technology infrastructure that provides computing solutions to address the needs of an organization. So naka-highlight dyan yung mga important terms. So I want you to take note of this. So when you take up BSIT, you will be utilizing both hardware and software technologies. And you will be working mostly with infrastructure. So yung mga tangible components of a computer system. And you will be able to address the need of an organization or maybe a group of people. Now, what are the competence of these information technology students? So, ito yung mga competence ng mga estudyante na nag-enroll sa IT. So, first is the deployment, configuration, and administration of computer systems. So, this include both hardware and software. So, this means installing computer applications to computers or managing these computer systems like performing troubleshooting and maintenance. All right. The second one is infrastructure management. This includes setting up networks, connecting computers together, connecting different offices or different departments across an organization. So managing infrastructures or computer systems of an organization. Third is we have database management. So storage of data. So let's say you have transactions in the organization. Where do we save files? Where do we save records of transactions? So these are saved onto databases. So you can become a database administrator if you know how to manage databases. And of course, not to forget the programming, no, software development, competence of students enrolled in IT. So we develop computer programs, computer applications, or a complete computer system. Okay. So next is we have the computer science program. Ano ba tong computer science? So according to CHED, study of computing concepts and theories, algorithmic foundations, and new developments in computing. So this program prepares you to design and create algorithmically complex software and develop new and effective algorithms for solving computing problems. So what are our terms to remember here? Concepts and theories. Create algorithmically complex software, and of course, new and effective algorithms. So based on those terms, we can say that computer science is more a scientific approach to IT, and they are more concerned on the development of softwares, particularly something that is new or novel. So something na hindi pa nag-i-exist before, and that is the strength of computer science. Okay? Now let's look at the skills and competencies of those who will enroll in CS. So one of their strengths is in the theories, principles, and innovation under the computing discipline. So they are very familiar with concepts of computing. Yun yung kanilang strength. And because of that, number two, they are very good in research. So mga scientists, no, we call them computer scientists. So their strength is to research on new ideas and developments in the field of computing. And one of that is artificial intelligence. So if you're familiar with AI, ito yun, strength yun ng computer science. For example, mga robots controlled by software or machines controlled by software. So this is something that computer science students excel really well. And finally, we have software engineering. So it's still like software development, but they all know the different processes. So this takes the holistic approach to software development, and that is software engineering. Okay, so if you're interested more in developing something new, software development in general, then maybe computer science is the best program for you. So now let's hear from one of our graduates in the BSIT program. So we have here Sir Ray Angel Monteveles, who is now working as a web developer for Tuo IT Solutions. So guys, please pay attention to our video.
Hello everyone. I hope you guys are having a great day. First of all, I would like to say that I am thankful to Sir Carlo Arroyo and of course Ma'am Charis Barbosa for giving me this opportunity to share my kind of roller coaster road as a BSIT student at the University of Mindanao. This event is indeed a brilliant idea to give aspiring students something that they could look forward towards their career. So let me begin my story by telling you guys that I am a big computer fan. mainly because I know that I am a lazy person. Thus, computer is a perfect thing for me to do a whole lot of stuff just by sitting while facing a computer. I had decent grades when I finished high school. That's why everyone in my family were so persistent in bragging me to take an engineering course. And yeah, so I did. Because I really had no idea what course to take anyway. I can still remember how overwhelming my first day of class was. I was in a block section with classmates I never knew, though eventually we tried to socialize and talk about things, which was a little down for me because I couldn't relate about the topics which were all about cars and machineries. To sum up, I never really felt passionate about my first course. I wasn't doing my best, I become stagnant and mediocre. I felt like I felt like struggles that I felt like the struggles that I'm going to take in order to go through in my engineering career wouldn't be worth it. So in the second semester, I took the initiative to change my course. But then I was still not sure what course to take, and I literally chose my second course as the last moment before I passed my shifting form and hope for the best. Literally hope for the best. My thought at that time was simply the idea of maybe this course will work or maybe not. Maybe I'd like it or maybe not. All I knew was that I have to choose something to move forward. And here comes the second semester. I became an irregular student, known few friends in my minor classes, of course, and I did all I did in that chapter was to go with the flow until my first major class, which was Java programming. Now, I had no idea what programming was. I never knew it existed. I thought being an IT student was all about configuring, networking, fixing computers. It was years ago, but my memory about my first day of programming class is still crystal clear. I was sitting at the back of the room, curious about what the lessons is all about. As I expected, I never understand anything. It's like riding a bike for the very first time and no one is teaching you. I couldn't even see the part of the software in which I can start writing my code. I was so behind that I literally stopped paying attention to the lesson. But then something came up, something happened. My professor, Sir Marcel Baste, went on every computer to make sure that every student understands the lesson. He walked through the whole process again step by step just to make sure that everyone could follow. And I thought that kind of passion is remarkable. After things made sense, I just kept on following the lesson, and little did I know that I was genuinely enjoying it. Our professor was so passionate to the point where we get excited about each upcoming lessons, like loops, arrays, functions, and classes. He used real-world analogies about current topics on top of competitive fun activities where everyone can enjoy participating, even the people who are not competitive. That's when I started enjoying it. I got excellent grades, and little by little, my complicated lessons became much easier. The cool thing about programming is that you can easily understand any language when you totally understand the fundamentals of a single one. I was also given the chance to teach fellow students who are struggling with their academics as a mentor in the Skills Clinic laboratory. Surprising, Surprisingly, I managed to become one of the Dean's Lister in my third year, and also I got my first web developer job in my fourth year, and graduated on 2019. 2 months after I graduated, I took a part-time job as a professor in the same university, University of Mindanao. Of course, with the recommendations of my previous teachers, it was fun. It was a very fun experience because some of my students were my closest friends. There were a lot of moments in my life where I just felt like going with the flow, just like a water in a river. You see, it is really impossible to tell whether anything that happens is good or bad. You never knew that the consequences of misfortune or good fortune will be, as only time will tell the whole story. Things may look great at the start, but over time it may not become what you had imagined it to be. Similarly, you feel bad about something, but someday it could be one of the best things that happens to you. Right now, I am working for more than 2 years in my web developer job, also taking part-time projects from time to time while continuously learning. I guess my only take on this is that finishing college degree wasn't easy, or like getting a college degree wasn't easy. Well, for me at least. I've been caught up in couple of bumps, twists and turns. Sometimes things get messy and sometimes tough. And when things doesn't make sense, just keep going. Or as the famous Filipino advice, laban lang.
All right, so that's it. Thank you very much to Mr. Mark Ray Angel Monteveles, our graduate, our alumni from the College of Computing Education, for sharing his experience in learning about computing in our college here at the University of Mindanao. So let's continue with our talk. Let's move on to the third program in our college, the Bachelor of Science in Information Systems. So, what is this program? So, maybe you have not heard of this before. But according to CHE, this is the study of applications and effect of information technology to organizations. So, this program prepares you to implement information systems, which considers complex technological and organizational factors affecting it. This includes components, tools, techniques, strategies, methodologies, and others. So basically, IS is a mixture of the BSBA or Business Administration course and as well as the Information Technology course. So it's a merge between these programs. So you will be discussing here, you'll be talking about how IT affects businesses. And you'll be working with different information systems to help organizations. Now, what are the strengths of our BSIS students? So first is business intelligence. So students are expected to have knowledge of working with IT technologies, IT programs, IT softwares, and how these are implemented in organizations or businesses. So this will include creating data visualizations or reports that are needed by the businesses with the help of technology. Second is IT and IS management. IS are born to be leaders in computing. So they are expected to lead people under the computer science, the IT, and other IT related disciplines. So parang sila ang leader ng computing group. Okay, so they manage people working in the ICT, such as programmers, system developers, network administrators, database administrators, but not only people, but as well as resources, such as computer systems in an organization. Third, we have project management. So since IS graduates are leaders, they lead a team in developing IT-related projects, such as developing a software for a company. And finally, quality assurance. So IS knows how to create systems as well. So they know how to test the quality of this system. So they are called software testers or software quality assurance testers. Okay, now we're on to our fourth program. So if you are interested, you may also enroll in the Library and Information Science program, or we call it the BLISS program. So this program is the study of the development, deployment, and management of information resources in print, non-print, electronic, and digital formats and services. So the program prepares you to apply IT to basic library operations and functions, Moreover, you are trained to systematically organize, conserve, and restore information objects, historical and cultural documents, and other intellectual properties. So you may be wondering, Sir, bakit yung mga librarian nasa computing? Well, because libraries are now turning digital. So hindi lang puro books na hardcover or yung tangible natin na mga resources, but they are also available in digital format. So our libraries are already transforming, no? Making themselves available online, even especially today during the COVID pandemic. So with this, we consider our students, our graduates and alumni to be part of the computing field. So ano yung mga strengths, competencies natin ng mga library and information science students? So first and foremost, of course, library organization and management. So this will include yung mga arrangement, systematic arrangement of books in the libraries and other resources. Second is we have information processing management, sorry. So this will include processing mga intellectual properties, mga cultural documents, and how these are processed and stored in their appropriate format in the libraries. Third, we have digital libraries and services. So especially in this time, we already have our libraries available online so we can access books or other resources, articles, and journals, which will be useful for students and, of course, available for them to read and access anytime, anywhere. And lastly, library technologies such as yung mga systems, computer systems such as students' attendance in and out in the library, borrowing of books and other resources from the libraries. So these are all the competencies of these students. So tanong sir, may subject pa talaga sila sa IT na computer related? Yes, they do. They have programming, databasing, computer systems analysis and design, and more. So we have here our guest, Miss Jan Mariel Duyo, who is now the Assistant Chief Librarian of Davao Doctors College. She graduated from the Bliss program here at the University of Mindanao. So she will be sharing to us her experience naman, no? Taking up Bliss in the College of Computing Education. So let's hear from our guest speaker.
So I'm so honored to have been invited here today by my former professor, Ma'am Aida Bacani, to speak briefly about my experience as a Bliss student way back 2012 to 2016 and to impart some so-called wisdom to everyone now present. When Ma'am Aida messaged me early this month to give a testimony about my experience as a Bliss student of the university, it didn't even occur to me to refuse. You know, when you love something so much and you're proud of something so much that you want to just share it to others, that's how I feel about the University of Mindanao, about the College of Computing Education, and of course, the Bachelor of Library and Information Science. Just like most people in my profession, I didn't come by this course decidedly. When I was a kid, I didn't think one day I would like to be a librarian. No, most kids would have wanted to be doctors or teachers or even astronauts, professions that are famous or popular or that we see and encounter every day. I did not see any librarians during my primary schooling, since in public schools where I came from, libraries are mostly absent, much less librarians. So I came to Bliss by chance when it was introduced to me by my aunt, who fostered in me the love of reading. Since the moment I've heard about it in my fourth year of high school, it remained in my top three choices since I would be working close to books, and I love that. So in the summer of 2012, I came to UM by chance as well. I distinctly remember on my first day of school, I was excited to start on my LAS 1 since it's my first major subject and where I'll meet all of my future program classmates and hopefully my lifelong friends. So I was waiting there at room H3K at the DPT building and I noticed it was almost time for the subject and there was just two of us inside the classroom. So I waited, I didn't mind it, and then when the time for the class to actually start came, there were a total of 11 students inside the room. And our teacher came in and confirmed that we were all present, 11 classmates. So coming from a public school with classmates ranging from 45 to 50 people, I was culture shocked. I didn't expect that there would be so few of us and that classes will be so intimate and di ka makakatago whenever a teacher has a question. And because of that, I was somewhat discouraged, I admit. And during my 4 years of college, there were times when I wanted to leave the program, when I became demotivated to continue, especially when tough subjects such as cataloging and abstracting were introduced. But all of those times, I was pulled back by my friends, my teachers, my developed love for the profession and the subjects, and of course, one of my mentors, Doc Stella Diquito, who is my boss now, and who I saw at that time as this someone who I want to be like someday. And that made me stay. Looking back at it now, I wouldn't exchange our intimate classes for anything. I would do it all again. The classes inside the library, our own little laboratory in there, where we were so noisy, and then where we talk and laugh and learn with our teachers, the night classes schedule, the staying in the library so late that one time the lights were turned off when we were still inside. And overall, everything that came with being a UMB student, in being part of the College of Computing Education. It was such a tight community back then since only BLIS, IT, CS, and IS were members of the college, and the programs itself had only a few students. And coming from a very small populated program such as BLIS, where there were just like 30 students from first year to fourth year, we all had the opportunity of representing our course in the student council of the college, and hence making more friends from other programs. All these experiences and learning molded me in becoming the student that even before graduation and even before passing the board examination was already hired. I was fortunate enough not to have gone through the anxiety of wondering whether employment will be available to me. Since our program chair at that time, Ma'am Virginia Kaintik, was right. She said upon meeting us for the first time, when we were just first years, she said, "Congratulations, you chose the program that will have a definite career for you. The program that will never run out of jobs for you." And once I graduated, I saw that it was true. UM also did not abandon us once we graduated, no. Our faculties made sure that we had help in reviewing for our upcoming examinations. They nurtured us, challenged us, and helped us pass with no one left behind. And lo and behold, a 100% passing rate was acquired from the two batches that took the librarian's licensure examination in 2016. UM indeed molded me into the professional that I am today, the kind of librarian who values excellence in my professional functions, who sees the importance of professional development and continuous education to further hone my skills and to never stop perfecting my most important product, myself. I am so proud to be a UMian because of what I experienced there. And I am so proud that I am a librarian because I see how passionate my profession are about what we are doing and how active we are, even in this worldwide pandemic, in making sure that learning, schooling, and access to academic support is still available digitally and remotely. Librarianship and the book industry will not be going away soon, despite how technological and digital everything is becoming. As information evolve, we librarians evolve. As long as culture, society, and knowledge are considered important and crucial to humanity's existence, then librarians will be needed. And I know the University of Mindanao, through the Bachelor of Library and Information Science program, will be leading in that front, making all aspiring student librarians diamonds in the rough. To close, I say thank you, UM. Thank you to my teachers, my professors, Ma'am Aida, Sir Rico Maghuyop, to my mentor Doc Stella and my boss Doc Stella, and to Ma'am Virginia Kaintik. Thank you for making me a diamond in the rough. And thank you everyone for listening, and thank you for having me.
Okay, so thank you very much to our speaker, Jan Mariel Duyo, for sharing her life and experience as a Bliss student and how UM has helped her in achieving her career goals. Okay, so at this point, let's proceed to our fifth program, the Bachelor of Science in Entertainment and Multimedia Computing. So this program is particularly new. It started at around 2015, if I'm not mistaken. So what is this program all about? So this program is the study and use of concepts, principles, and techniques of computing in the design and development of multimedia projects and solutions. So this includes various applications such as in science, entertainment, education, simulations, and advertising. So if you choose the BS program, you'll actually get to choose what specialization would you like to take. So you can choose between digital animation technology and as well as game development. So you can have an option and you'll be mastering this field of what you are going to take as a major. So what's the difference between the two? So let's have the game development first. So this is BSEMC major in game development. So this is the study and application of fundamental and advanced theories in game design, scientific simulations, use and development of gaming technologies and tools, and as well as the production of commercially acceptable digital games and viable solutions for use in entertainment and scientific applications. So what are our key terms here? We have the science of games and the use of gaming technologies. So this program is specific to um, creating games, and this game should be commercially acceptable. That means it can be distributed in the market, available to you via the App Store, the Play Store, or other mediums. So, how about the digital animation technology? So, anong program din ito? So, this is the study and application of fundamental and advanced theories and techniques in 2D and 3D animation, use and development of for advancement of animation technologies, and of course, the production of commercially acceptable content and viable solutions for different platforms such as broadcast, web, and mobile cast. So here in digital animation technology or the BSEMC major in digital animation technology, you are going to work with animations. And this will include producing commercially acceptable content that can be viewed by an audience, maybe in a television or via the internet. So what are the strengths of our students in the BSEMC program? So we have multimedia systems development. So this includes such as creating games or even advertisements, films, or something that is related to computing and the arts. We have also 2D and 3D animation. This may be a short film, a full-length film, or an animation inside a multimedia system such as a game. 'Di ba? Sa game, meron namang mga animations. So the movement of characters, the trees, the environment, these are all animated by students in the EMC program. Then we have, of course, creating your own games, developing your own games, or even testing your own games, game design and development. And finally, asset design, such as creating 3D models or maybe printing these 3D models. And of course, not to forget audio production. So meron pong subject na audio production or sound engineering. So that can create mga original soundtracks for your film or for your multimedia system such as games. Now we also have another program. This is new in our college and it will be this coming next school year yata, no? So they'll be part of our college. So the Multimedia Arts or the Bachelor in Multimedia Arts is a study geared towards creative and effective storytelling and expression through convergence of digital media technologies, forms, and practices. So this program prepares you to develop knowledge and skills that will enable them or you to communicate critically and effectively across a range of new media technologies and forms. So you are going to demonstrate technical proficiency in the use of appropriate technologies required in the production of multimedia projects. So you may be wondering, bakit hindi to sa fine arts or sa architecture or in other colleges? Because multimedia arts prefer the use of technology in developing their work. So that's why it's in the field of computing as well, since they'll be using computers to generate their output. Now, what's the difference between multimedia arts and entertainment and multimedia computing? So when we say EMC, this is more scientific. Okay? So scientific siya in a way that it uses computer technologies to develop multimedia systems. So IT plus multimedia is equal to EMC. Scientific approach, mga programming, databases, those are competencies of EMC students. While on the other hand, multimedia arts is communication and arts with the use of technology. So their strength is marketing, branding, and communications. Okay. Now let's look at the competencies of students who wish to enroll in the Multimedia Arts program. First and foremost, graphics design. So this will include creating logos for brands, creating banners and posters, creating artworks, image manipulation. So these are the strengths, one of the strengths of MMA students. Of course, we have branding and advertising. So this will um, focus on creating brands for organization, such as creating their logos or creating an advertisement or creating promotional materials, which can be used for marketing strategies by a company. Then we have film production and photography. And finally, 2D and 3D animations as well. Okay. Now, at this point, we'll be looking at some of our, just one of our outputs of our students in the MMA program. So let me play this video for you.
It's a bullseye. It's a bullseye. We don't miss, that's a. It's a bullseye. Hit it once, hit it twice, never miss. It's a bullseye. Hit it once, hit it twice, never miss. It's a bullseye. It's a bullseye. Yeah. It's a bullseye. Anything I want, baby, gonna take that. Too much I want, so I'm never laid back. Whole team with me, you can never break that. Protect at all costs, yeah, like a wave cap. We don't follow, yeah, we innovate. Been about a coach and not an accolade. Everybody always got something to say, but meanwhile, kind of their own body weight. Yeah, we roll with the punches, yeah. Then we roll to the lunches, yeah. Roll out, now we run this, damn. Yeah, this is really something. All my people in the place, go run it. All my people in the place, go run it. All my people in the place, go run it. Do your dance, yeah, you know you something. Yeah. Do your dance, yeah, you know you something. 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 Hit it once, hit it twice, never miss. It's a bullseye. Hit it once, hit it twice, never miss. It's a bullseye. It's a bullseye. It's a bullseye. Only type of light that I ever hide from is in red and blue lights. I don't sing their song. I don't. Where you at? Yeah, where you come from? How have you grown? Who you wanna become? Move your body, move a leg. Everybody here, move ahead. One to the right now, one to the left. Never stay still. Move again. Regenerate, yeah. Get what's mine, yeah. Come to collect. I am me, and I'm that to the end. We got the juice, you money. Do your dance, yeah, you know you something. Do your dance, yeah, you know you something. Oh, shawty, it's your birthday. Do your dance, yeah, you know you something. Do your dance, yeah, you know you something. Do your dance, yeah, you know you something. Twice, it's a bullseye. Once, twice.
All right. So what you have just witnessed are outputs of our students and alumni of the MMA and as well as the EMC program. So correction lang sa nasabi ko kanina because I only said MMA. But this actually includes outputs of our students during their coursework in their college program taking up EMC or MMA na course. Okay? So amazing no ang kanilang mga output. All of you have that you have witnessed are works of our students. They were original works produced by our students. Okay? So your college degree won't be complete without your research work. So of course, you are all expected to conduct research. So this is now part 2 of our discussion. So there are two kinds of research in our college. We have a thesis and a capstone project. So ano bang difference ng thesis and capstone project? So a thesis is a technical report on a systematic investigation of a problem that can be solved. It may include a solution, an approximate or partial solution, a scientific investigation, or development of results to the solution of the problem. So a thesis is designed to add new information to an existing body of research. So the students should seek out a topic or methodology that has not previously been explored. So something new ang thesis. On the other hand, we also have capstone projects, which is an undertaking appropriate to a professional field. So this significantly addresses an existing problem or need. A capstone project is typically more applied in nature. A capstone may or may not utilize systematic data analysis. So there's usually an end product that provides some sort of materials, guide, plan, or evaluation that can be used by a community, a group of people facing or having the issue or a problem. So what are the programs and what are their respective research works? So for BSIT, we have a capstone project. So this focuses on a project related to IT infrastructure or an IT management project. So this should focus on processes, the applications, and infrastructure involved in implementing a computing solution to a problem. While on the other hand, we have the thesis from the BS Computer Science program. So this is a project or a work that requires students to focus on theories and concepts of computing in the form of scientific work. So computer science students are expected to work with computer science principles in developing new technologies. So they will be proposing something that is not seen before or not available in the field of computing. So a new discovery. For those who are enrolled in the BSIS, they are required to complete a capstone project such as a business application development or an information systems plan. So this should focus on an organization. So kailangan may basis, no? And this problem should be based on an organization or a business process. For BLIS students, they are required to complete a thesis that focuses on the areas central to the profession and improvement of librarianship. So this will include information access, content, services, library leadership, libraries and community engagement, library space, role of technology in libraries, and scholarly communication and open access. For those who are enrolled in BSEMC, particularly GD or DAT, for GD, of course, that would include creation of games and game development tools for a capstone project. For DAT, on the other hand, creates a capstone project that focuses on animation or interactive multimedia system. For those who will take a Bachelor in Multimedia Arts, you are required to complete a capstone such as a film, an animation, a graphic design, or other kinds of multimedia projects focusing on the impact, innovation, and solutions for the community. Okay. Now let's take a look at some of our outputs in our different programs. So here we have a course platform, course assessment mobile application for the University of Mindanao using text analytics API and weighted incremental algorithm. So here are the authors, and here is a sample output from their project. So it's an evaluation of their courses or subjects, and they are to take this survey using their mobile phones instead of using pen and paper. Then we also have an Android-based application utilizing image processing with artificial neural network for detecting ringworm and yeast infections for dogs using Neurov framework. So this is an application wherein you take a picture of your dog, particularly those with skin problems, and the application will determine kung anong skin problem meron yung dog. Okay, interesting, di ba? So we also have here Museo Dabawenyo, an interactive virtual reality museum application using Unity framework. So this is a virtual reality. So something that you wear and you can immerse yourself in the application. So this application takes you into a tour of the Davao City Museum. Pero I think they already have transferred to a new office. Okay? I mean yung Davao Museum natin. We also have Gunnar. This is Gun AR or Gunnar, a bilingual children's storybook through augmented reality. So AR naman to. So you focus your phone to a book and the book comes to life with the use of this application. So mag-pop up yung mga animated objects contained within the book. Now we also have our Google account on Play Store. You can search for CCE Omyong. CCE is our college. And you can see there different applications that our students have developed as their research work. So they have worked with government agencies and as well as the private in the private sector to develop applications for them. Actually, dalawa yung account namin. Ito yung bago. The CCM yung was an old account. So this is our new account. University of Mindanao Computing Education. These are just collections of our softwares produced by our students. So there's one game there. This is done by our BSE MC students. It's called Waste Blitz. So this is a racing game about collecting wastes or garbage around the campus. So this game will take you on a tour in the University of Matina main campus as the racetrack for this racing game. So you can actually download it from the Google Play Store. Unfortunately, wala pa po sa Apple Play Store. Then we have also a short film as an output for our MMA program.
For the past few
So
years,
let's just view a few seconds of this
has been the
output.
problem of every part of the world. There are many forms of exploitation into which people can be trafficked and held in slavery. However, organ trafficking is seldom discussed form due to its very organized and often stealth crime. On this informational animation, let us explain why is organ trafficking is still undetectable.
Alright, so hindi ko na i-play lahat because it's a bit long. It will take a lot of time. Alright, so let's proceed. So on this part, we'll have internship. So this section will be discussed to you by my partner, my colleague, Ms. Charisse Barbosa. So please help me welcome the other speaker for this section. So Ms. Charisse.
Thank you, Sir Carl. Good morning, everybody. Maayong buntag. Magandang umaga po. Okay, so I am tasked to discuss about internship and career options. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so what you can see on your screen are the number of hours needed for you to be able to complete practicum or internship. Of course, practicum is required for you to be able to complete your entire course. All right, for BSIT, you are required to complete the practicum period for 486 hours. For BS Computer Science, you are required to complete 162 hours. And why is that so? So BSIT, as we have mentioned earlier, Mr. Carl, BSIT will be exposed, or the competency being expected from you is in software development as well as in technical support. Okay? For computer science, it's all about software development. For BSIS, you should be able to complete 486 practicum hours. For BLIS, 400 hours. For BSEMC, 460 hours. And lastly, for BAMA or BMMA, that is 250 hours. All right. Allow me to present to you our partner host training establishments, or shall we say HTE. So we send our students to these companies. So these are only few companies that we have right now. Okay, so we have Detail Online, Technology Incorporated, 2IT Solutions, Gyrosoft Incorporated. We have also Infinite Technologies Solutions, or shall we say Advanced Infinite Technology Solutions, F Squared Technologies Incorporated, Ikigai Animation Studio, and also Davao Doctors College. Okay, to give us some few words about the University of Mindanao and also our student interns, let us hear from Sir Michael Pinto from Detail Online Technology Incorporated.
The University of Mindanao has been a valuable partner of Detail Online Philippines since we started last 2018. Good morning, my name is Michael Pinto. I'm the lead for HR and recruitment of Detail Online Technology. It's a software company based in Sweden, and our technical office is located here in Davao. Since 2018, we have been working with the University of Mindanao as part of our internship program that we offer to before to most of the big universities here in Davao City. As part of the Academic Alliance project of ICT Davao, we make sure that we offer industry training to our academic partners. The University of Mindanao has been, as of the moment, our exclusive partner when it comes to on-the-job training and internship. And once our interns from have finished their hours, they become part of our workforce. So for Detail Online, we have almost 60% of our employees right now, regular employees, who are from and from our interns pool. We make sure that we prioritize these interns when they apply and upon graduation, and make sure that they would fit into the company as soon as they graduated from the university. So this is just to tell you guys how important and how trained and skilled the IT students are, as they have been working with us and growing with the company for the past few years as well. Thank you so much and good morning.
Thank you, Sir Kael, for those words and also encouragement to our future students. All right, so the next, okay, so here on your screen is a sample output of our student interns from F Squared Technology Solutions Incorporated. So to be specific, these students are game development major as well as digital animation technology major students. So with the guidance of their mentors and of course the professionals there at F Squared Technology Solutions, they were able to came up these simple game. So you might be wondering how they did it. So of course, interestingly, you need to finish the entire course, of course, to be specific, EMC. So if you want to know more about this game, just to give you an idea of the product that they are able to produce, you may want to check Google Play Store or Apple Store because that can be downloaded there and it is already available. All right, so to give us more idea on these outputs, let us hear from Mika Peel of Ikigai Animation Studio and F Squared Technology Incorporated Solutions.
Hello ka. Kabalo ba kang partner ng UM with Ikigai Studio?
Hey guys, Brian here. So firstly, we'd love to thank you all for being here. I'd also love to thank University of Mindanao for partnering up with Ikigai Animation Studios. And yeah, we also congratulate you for being born in the correct era.
We are now living in an age where the demand for multimedia art vastly eclipses the rate at which we can produce it. Gone are the days when young artists struggle to find productive ways to use their talents.
Best era to start a career in creative arts. So it's something to look forward here in Davao City. Again, Ikigai means having a purpose of what you can do to your community and to the world. And because of that, we are happy that our mission and goals are in sync with University of Mindanao. Being an industry partner with University of Mindanao is an honor, and we are excited to be part of the movement to provide education to young aspiring artists here in Davao City. Since again, our objective is not only to provide services and trainings, but also to build a flourishing community of aspiring creatives.
Okay, thank you so much, Mamika and Sir Brian. To continue, you might be wondering how we are able to conduct or deliver our internship amidst pandemic. So here on your screen, you can see some screenshots of how we conduct our meeting as well as our student presenting their initial outputs in software development. So these students are currently deployed at Advanced Infinite Technology Solutions. And as you can see, this particular student is presenting his output. Okay, so they are developing an HR payroll system, and the other one is a pharmacy module. It's a pharmacy POS module. Okay, so and another student is creating an ads for Advanced Infinite Technology Solution also. All right, so we have another video coming from our partner, Sir Mark of Infinite Solutions.
Good day. I am Mark Price from Advanced Infinite Technology Solutions Incorporated, or Infinite Solution. Infinite Solution is a Davao-based IT company that develops various software for the needs of the industry. Our company was formally SEC registered last 2017 and has since produced software such as healthcare information system, learning management systems, business health solutions, and many more. Infinite Solution and partnership for internship program also started last 2017. Since then, we have helped train the students into the IT profession in IT industry standards. In fact, all of our developers and office staff are former interns. We are proud to be 100% UMians. This proves that students are highly skilled that can compete globally. For our former interns with potential who already graduated from or finished their internship period, depending on the arrangement, we offer them various compensation packages such as project-based agreement partnership through such as project-based agreement partnership, profit sharing for the system that they help develop, and maintain full-time employment. We would like to thank the College of Computing Education in its internship program for the partnership that we forged and producing highly skilled IT professionals. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sir Mark. And to all our industry partners, we would like to give our warmest appreciation to mentoring our students and as well as being a champion to our students. This time, we are going to look into some of the photos of our student interns deployed from various company. For sure, you can really see that they're smiling faces. They are happy being deployed from various to that company. Okay, so this is pre-pandemic. So they are working in action. Okay. All right. So this time we are now on our fourth leg or section of our topic. We are now going to discuss career options. Okay, so say for example, you chose the course Information Technology. So as a graduate, you will have the opportunity to be a network administrator. You can be a database administrator, systems administrator, a software developer, if you are really good in programming and that's your goal. And then you can be a systems analyst, a data analyst, and technical support specialist. Okay. If you decided to take up computer science, you can be a software engineer, a software developer. You can be a researcher or a robotics programmer, or yung pinaka-sexy ngayon na course, or shall we say, no work, you can be an artificial intelligence developer, a system analyst, or a data scientist. So yan yung mga in-demand ngayon. Okay? For information systems graduate, these are the opportunities that you can have. So you can be an organizational process analyst, a systems analyst, a data analyst, or a project manager. You can also be an information systems manager, a quality assurance specialist, or a software support specialist. Okay, so for a library and information science graduate, you can be a library director, librarian, abstractor, indexer, records manager, cataloger, and archivist. Okay, so for an EMC graduate, so you can have this opportunity also. You can be a multimedia systems programmer, game tester, game designer, production designer, technical animator, technical director, a sound engineer. And lastly, for multimedia arts graduate, you can be a graphic designer, a photographer or videographer. You can also be a 2D or 3D animator, digital marketing specialist, a video and audio specialist, visual effects artist, and lastly, a creative director. Okay. But wait, there's more. I'm gonna turn you over to Sir Carl.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Charisse. So at this point, are we enough with the information that we have? Not really, because in the College of Computing Education here at the University of Mindanao, we also have an educational tour for our students. So we do not just confine our students in the four corners of our classrooms and laboratories. We also let them explore outside the university. So we let them learn. And this is by traveling to another city. So far, we have only visited Cebu for our previous school years. So we visit IT industries or multimedia industries in Cebu to for students to witness how operations are conducted in the real world. So aside from that, we also have a little bit of side trip. So here are our students in the Cebu Ocean Park, which is a new ocean park in the Visayas region. Then we also have um, Santo Niño Basilica Church. No, it's a very famous spot in Cebu City. So you also have an industry here called Alliance, and the other one is a Pag-asa Weather Station in Cebu. So of course, ang primary goal natin doon is to really visit IT industries, but meron ding time to enjoy the sceneries in Cebu. So of course, with that information, we would like to promote our college, the College of Computing Education. So what can you benefit if you enroll in our college here at the University of Mindanao? First and foremost, we are level 4 accredited by PACUCOA for our BSIT and BS Computer Science. So anong meaning ng level 4? That is the highest available accreditation for PACUCOA, and that means our IT and CS programs are really competent, not just locally, nationally, but internationally recognized. So aside from that, we also have level 2 accreditation for our library and information science program. And we have our candidate status for our IS and multimedia arts. So we're also recognized by CHED as Center of Development for our IT and computer science programs. And we also have international certifications for our students. So if you enroll in any of the computer related programs, you can take any of these certifications. And these are national and internationally recognized. So if you work in a local company or an international company and you have this certification, then that signifies that you are really competent, and you are expected that you know a lot about these certifications and fields. So first is the Microsoft Office Specialist. We also have Microsoft Technology Associate. We also have Adobe Certified Professional, Information Technology Specialist, and TESDA National Certification. Also, not to forget, the only program in our college to have a board examination is the Bachelor in Library and Information Science. So anong benefit of passing the board exam? You'll be recognized by the PRC of our government and organizations in the Philippines that you are a passer of the board examination. But not only that, if you land a top-notcher position, or if you land as a top-notcher in the board exam, the university is very generous to give you a reward for doing so. Okay, so that's very exciting, right? If you land top 1, top 2, or any of the places in the top 10 licensures examination. So with that, we end our talk together with Ma'am Charisse by this quote of Steve Jobs. So let's watch this short video.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them, but the only thing you can't do is ignore them. Because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
All right. So with that, we say think different. So in the field of computing, we always want you students to stir up your innovation, your creativity, because you always want to see improvements in the life of people. And that's what we promote in our college. So together with Ma'am Charisse, we say thank you, stay safe, and stay sane. And we hope to see you here in the University of Mindanao taking up your computer-related degrees, information and communications technologies, related degrees under the College of Computing Education.
So thank you, Sir Carlo, and thank you, Ma'am Charis, for that talk about the careers and studies in the ICT. So I think every one of our participants is ready for our next round of game. So please visit menti.com. Here's the code number 96900697. Again, please don't forget to indicate your school name beside your name. Code 96900697. Nine six nine zero 0697. We have 5 participants already. 6. Have 8, 9. I hope our participants in YouTube can also participate by visiting menti.com or www.menti.com and use the code 96900697. Okay, so we'll start in 20 seconds. We have 15 participants already. Okay, in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's start. So make sure to answer fast to get more points. And here is the question number 1. Study of the utilization of hardware and software technologies involving planning, installing, customizing, managing, and operating IT infrastructures. Which among the choices? Time's up. Okay, so the correct answer is information technology. Only 2, no? Yung nagkamali. Very good for our 13 participants. And let's see our leaderboard. Okay, Mark from Tarragona National High School is our top 1, followed by Chester, Lauren, Christine Vargas, and Harvey Tagalog. So now let's have our question number 2. It is the study and use of concepts, principles, and techniques of computing in the design and development multimedia projects and solutions. Okay, 4 lang, no, yung tumama. So the correct answer is entertainment multimedia computing, major in digital animation technology. So only 4 answered correctly. Let's see our leaderboard. Sino kaya yung 4, no? Stephen, followed by Jevelyn, Dangay, Chester, and Lauren. So, pwede pa humabol yung iba, no? Mayroon pa tayong 3 remaining questions. And here's the question number 3. It is the study of computing concepts and theories, algorithmic foundations, and new developments in computing. Two, one, time's up. Everyone has voted. The correct answer is computer science. Very good. Dalawa lang yung nagkamali. And let's see our leaderboard. I think still on the first spot is Stephen, followed by Javelin, Chester, Nasif, and Christine Vargas. Now on its fourth question, answer fast to get more points. The study of the development, deployment, and management of information resources in print, non-print, electronic, and digital formats and services. Keyword is print and non-print, electronic, and digital formats. Okay, the correct answer is library and information science. Only 9 answered correctly. So here's our top 5 for this question. I think may humabol, no? Nasif is our fastest. Now on top 2, followed by Chester, Danielle, and Alexis. So leading to our last question. Our last question is the required number of OJT hours for the BSIS is blank, while the BMMA requires number of hours, blank number of hours. 486 and 165, 400 and 250, 486 and 250. Time's up. Correct answer is 486, 486 hours for the BSIS and 250 hours for the BM or Multimedia Arts. Okay, so let's reveal our final winners for this round. Our top 5 are, may twist, no? 3, but still, Stephen of Tarragona National High School is our winner, our top 1, followed by Chester, Alexis, Angel, and from Marino School of Banique Incorporated. So congratulations, everyone. And that concludes our discussion from the computing and multimedia arts career and studies. So now let's have our last sharing. I would like to share to you the reasons why you need to choose UM. Uh, so since they're done discussing about their program, what about the school? Are you prepared, or uh, are you still in the deciding process on where to enroll in college? Maybe na-convince na mo ganina nga mag-IT mo, mag-multimedia. But what about the school? Where is the best school to study? So I'll be presenting to you the reasons to enroll in the University of Mindanao. Let me share to you my presentation. Okay, so here is my presentation. Okay, here it is. So the main reason why I need to choose UM, it's because the University of Mindanao is the first in leadership education, and we are offering quality, affordable, and open education to students. So to discuss that one by one in terms of quality education, UM received various of recognitions and certificates awards from numerous accrediting agencies here in the Philippines. Number 1 is the Philippine Quality Award. UM is a recipient of this highest recognition in the Philippines. That's why the president himself, of the Philippines, President Duterte, can only give that award to an institution or industry in the Philippines. Another thing is we are ISO 9001:2015 certified. That is very advantage now, particularly that you will be applying for an information technology or any related to computing and multimedia arts. And I think you have the plans to work abroad or freelancer online, that yung mga employers are based abroad or international. So it is an advantage for you that you are a graduate of an ISO certified university. Another thing is we are top two in terms of the number of accredited programs. Okay, we are next to University of Santo Tomas. It means that our programs here in the university are not just programs that are available for you to enroll, but these programs are accredited, meaning in terms of our faculty, we have the competent and skilled professors, in terms of our facilities, advanced and modern yung mga facilities namin. In terms of our system, in terms of our process, everything is systematized, no? Systematized, and at the same time, international based yung mga standards. And apart from that, our programs in engineering are Philippine Technological Council accredited, and also a lot more of accreditations received by our colleges and departments in the University of Mindanao. Another reason why I need to choose UM, it's because of the flexibility of the schedule. This is really the main reason why students in the university prefer to study here in UM. Because friendly, number one, and number two, very flexible. Bakit friendly and flexible? It is because yung semestral system, ginawa ng twist ni UM. I know that you are already practiced with the semestral system because in your senior high, you have 2 semesters in a year. And in each semester, I think meron kayong 8 subjects to 10 subjects per sem. And ang difference lang talaga sa college, no, I think same yung practice nyo sa senior high at yung practice ng ibang colleges and universities here in Davao City. And the University of Mindanao is different from these colleges and universities because yung semestral system na yan, in each sem, we divide that one into 2 terms. Okay? So di ba in one semester meron yang 5 months and sa isang semester meron yang 8 subjects to 10 subjects. So kung i-divide natin yan into 2 terms, ibig sabihin in each term merong 2.5 months. In each term merong 2.5 months. And in each term, if we divide the number of subjects, mayroon lang 4 na subjects per term. So ibig sabihin, if dyan sa senior high nyo or sa other colleges and universities, you need to meet all the 8 subjects per week. You need to prepare all the quizzes, assignments, exams, performance tasks of that 8 subjects to 10 subjects per week. So di ba halos bombarded mo, naglibog na mo kung asan yung unahon. But in UM, since we're very friendly and we're very flexible, yung 4 lang na subjects per term, yung imi-meet nyo the entire week, the entire term. So you will only focus on that 4 subjects. And if my exam, you will only focus on that 4 subjects, my activities, assignments, and others. So the good thing pa is you can choose kung anong session yung gusto nyo sa UM. So since yung 4 subjects na yan is equivalent to 4 hours, you can choose morning for 4 hours, afternoon for 4 hours, or evening for 4 hours. So kung morning person ka, ganahan ka mo matag sa'yo, then choose morning. If not naman, you can choose afternoon, or if you have job in the morning and afternoon, you can choose evening. So yun talaga ang reason bakit marami kaming enrollees. Bakit? Even yung mga scholars, even yung mga may problem financially, they can still pursue their education in UM because of our schedule. So since they can go to work in the morning and in the afternoon and have their education in the evening. So ganun po friendly yung schedule namin. And majority of our students here in UM are working scholars, not full-time students. So ganun. Do not make your financial status as hindrance na hindi kayo makapagtapos sa pag-aaral because there are a lot of ways, particularly if you will enroll here in the university. And another reason why you need to choose UM, it's our affordable education. We are providing affordable education to all of the students, despite that we are a private university. Why it's affordable? Because supposedly, a private university is expensive. Bisan pag mag-research mo, no, among all the private universities here in Davao region, kami yun ang pinakabarato. And that is aligned or consistent to the philosophy of our founding father that everyone has a right for quality education. And apart from that, daghan mig scholarship program offerings. Number one is the academic scholarship program. If you are a graduating student of the senior high school, then you have your general average of 95%. Then automatically you will be part of the academic program of the university. So you will enjoy up to 100% of free tuition fee credits. No? And for some scholarship programs, hold pa siya ngayon since hindi naman pwede yung mga face-to-face like the Student Training Assistance Program, the Athletic Scholarship Program, and others. But if balik na ta sa normal or the face-to-face, mubalik po ni siya nga mga programs. But for now, you can apply for the external scholarship programs like the scholarship program offerings of the government, like the CHED, the OST, and others. And also the private na mga agencies like SM. There are a lot of program offerings of these external agencies. So advice lang as early as now, you visit their websites, their Facebook pages, in order for you to be informed on how to apply and how to get these particular scholarship programs. Okay? So for now sa UM, yun muna, academic scholarship. But if hindi umabot ng 95% yung general average nyo, don't worry, because if you will enroll in UM, and then during your first year in UM, meron kayong magandang standing, academic standing, then you are qualified for another academic scholarship program. So separate yung academic scholarship ng incoming freshmen. Mayroon din kaming academic scholarship for our existing students na hindi siya nag-require ng 95% general average. Okay? So another reason. So this is what I have said earlier, that UM is top 2 among the universities and colleges in the Philippines in terms of the number of accredited programs. Because that UM has more than 100 of undergraduate and graduate programs. And I think it was mentioned already by our speakers, yung mga programs under the College of Computing Education. And you can actually visit our website so that you can read the descriptions of this particular program. Another reason, it's the learning management system that we are using, because in UM we are using an online or a learning management system where integrated na lahat, the quizzes, from the quizzes, assignments, activities, exams, performance tasks, nandyan na lahat sa learning management system. The advantage, kasi I think from the public schools, yung system nyo during this time of pandemic, yung only yung parents nyo yung allowed to claim and to submit your modules. So, para dili na magsigig pila inyong parents during the distribution and during the submission of the modules. Nothing to worry na in the University of Mindanao because we have this learning management system where everything is there na. Dili na mo maglisod. As long as you have the internet connection, you can learn anywhere. No? Even dili sa inyong balay, if you have your travel outside your city, outside your province, you can still study or you can still proceed your education because we have this blended learning modes, both the synchronous and asynchronous classes. So, hindi lang siya module na answer lang ka by your own because you have to meet your professors at least twice a week so that you can picture out, it will be discussed to you kung ano yung mga nasa materials. Okay, this is a good reason. It's the open education university. So, dili na mo gusto ma-pressure mong incoming freshman. And also, this is aligned or consistent sa aming principle that everyone has a right for education. That's why wala kaming entrance exam. Hindi lang to during the pandemic, but since then, may UM because of this philosophy, an open education. So, walang entrance exam. Again, highlight ko po, walang entrance exam sa UM. To enroll in the university, you just have to comply the requirements and at the same time, submit yung mga documents and a down payment of 1,750. Yun lang. So, once enrolled ka na, then you're welcome to the University of Mindanao. And aside from that, wala pong school uniforms UM. So, you can enjoy your hashtag OOTD as long as lang i-follow ang dress code ng OSA. But yung hindi lang naman pwede yung mga revealing na mga dresses. But for some, para sa mga nagtrabaho Kung para dili na mo boring o plan sa inyong uniform the night before, tapos mag-prepare pa mo on your school uniform. You can go immediately to the school kung saan yung ginasuot from your work, no? From your workplace, then proceed to the school. Dala lang kag ID, makasulod na ka. Okay, so that is for the open education university. And another thing, more than 120 of top-notchers na CUM. CUM is the home of top-notchers in the region for the span of 5 years before the pandemic. So that's from 2014 to 2019. We have more than 120 of top-notchers. And dili lang ka top-notcher, big winner po ka na because you will receive incentives from our university president. So what you can see in the picture, no? The smiling faces of our top-notchers, because you will receive up to 500,000 pesos or 1 million pesos, depends on the licensure exam. Okay, so yun, you can be assured that choosing University of Mindanao will be the best decision you will ever make. So leading to our final round of our quiz. Is everyone ready? Kindly visit again menti.com. Okay, let me share to you the code number. So this is our final round. I hope you are listening. This is about UM. Okay. So let me share to you the code number. So the code number is 50366118. Again, please don't forget to indicate your school name beside your name as username so that your school will be recognized. Again, the code number is 50366118. Five zero three six one one eight. Okay, we have 5 participants already. To all the winners, don't forget to email me your contact information and your school name so that you will be instructed on how to claim the prizes. Okay, we have 9 participants and we will start in 30 seconds. Okay, 15 seconds. Five, four, lumit yung ating participants, no? 3, 2, 1, and let's start our final round. UM offers quality, affordable, and blank education. Open, free, or exclusive? Okay, everyone has voted. The correct answer is open. So very good, only one no, yung nagkamali. Why not free? Because we are a private university, but our tuition fee is affordable. Obviously, we're not exclusive. So our top one, I think from UM Main, we have Miralles, followed by Alexis of Correjo College, Nasif of, correct me if I'm wrong, Compostela, Harvey Tagalog of Tarragona National High School, and Mars. It's on the top 5. Now, our second question, answer fast to get more points. How much is the total assessment of UM per semester? 15 to 20,000, 25 to 30, or 30 and above? Okay, so 8 answered correctly. So our total assessment is only 15 to 20,000. So ito lang yung babayaran niyo for the entire semester. And if you have your scholarship, so maybe wala na siguro may bayaran, no? And if naman, only the miscellaneous and it would not cost you too much. So let's reveal our winners on this question. What happened to our student from the main? Okay, our first now is Harvey, followed by Bangkayaon. Both are from Tarragona National High School, no? Daniel, Angel, and Clint of Compostela or Carmen National High School. Our question number 3. UM has how many terms in one sem? 3 terms, 2 or 4 terms? Everyone has voted. Very good. 8 answered correctly. We only have 2 terms in a sem. Yung sabi ko kanina, we divide the number of subjects into 2. We divide the number of months into 2. So here's our top 5 for this question. Still on our top 1, Harvey, Bangkayaon, both from Tarragona National High School, followed by Clint, Angel, and McLean. Now let's have our 4th question. UM has school uniform and admission exam. True or false? I think everyone has voted. Wow, may tatlo talaga nag-true. So false yung sagot because sabi ko kanina, walang entrance exam and walang school uniform si UM. Bakit walang school uniform? Simply because we're practicing the international standard. Because if you will visit the universities and colleges abroad and even the universities and colleges in NCR or in Manila, walang school uniform. So we just want you to wear where you are comfortable and where you are confident. Okay, that's our 4th question, and here's our top 5 for this question. We have Harvey or Bangkayaon, no? Is our top 1. Harvey, Angel, McLean, and Clint. Dalawang schools na nakapasok sa top 5. So now let's have our final question for this round. I am planning to enroll in UM. This is a bonus question, no? Walang mali dito. Yes or no? Okay. Sarap sa ayos, no? Lahat ng ating participants are planning to enroll in UM. So let's see our final leaderboard. Mabol kaya si Harvey? I think napanandigan ni Bangkayaon of Tarragona National High School is our top 1, followed by Harvey, Angel, Clint, and McLean Pavo of Carmen National High School. So congratulations. Don't forget to email me your contact information. So for those who are planning to enroll in UM, you can be assured that choosing University of Mindanao will be the best decision you will ever make. So for you to be updated of our updates, no, in terms of our enrollment procedures, scholarship program offerings, and other announcements, kindly follow our social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also on our YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel so that you will be notified on our future postings and future uploads. And also our website, www.umindanao.edu.ph. And this is our end, no, of our live webinar. So in behalf of the University of Mindanao, we are very grateful of your participation, of your time and efforts, and we would like to congratulate you in advance. Advance happy graduation day. So a virtual applause to our graduating students of the different senior high schools in the region and also in South Sargent. And that's the conclusion of our event. And please don't forget to accomplish our attendance form so that you will receive our certificate of participation. So here is our Google form. Sa ating participants sa Zoom, na send ko na yung link. Please don't forget to accomplish the form. Once again, good morning and goodbye everyone. Thank you for joining our live webinar. Goodbye.